What up? What up? Fantasy football hustler back at ya.
And you goddamn right, it's Bogart scot-free. The earth is my turf. Whole entire universe, give me money.
Yeah, bringing you another episode of Fantasy News today. Shout out to the chat. It is super lit right now. Appreciate you guys keeping it rocking. So we got a lot of news today, but we got two big pieces of news that we got to mention. Two huge contracts got signed. One of them a little bigger than the other, though. And we'll start with the one
That's what she said.
That's for sure. Barkley, he signed his deal. He's going to camp. But his deal is only for the pretty much the exact same amount as the franchise tag. And then there is some incentives on top. But the big thing is now he can actually sign some kind of long-term agreement before the end of the season.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a 1-year deal, they still have the rights to him, quote unquote. So you could hit him with a franchise tag next year if they chose to.
That'd be some
diabolical.
That'd be some bullshit.
I mean, would it be some shit that you didn't? Who's saying I didn't see that coming?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Now, how about let's get to the other big ass contract that all the Cowboy fans, all I see in the comments is how about them Cowboys? But shout out to our man Stu and all the crazy Cowboy fans rocking with us. Trevon Diggs, he got the bag. 5 years, 97 mil. And the extension includes a 21.25 mil signing bonus. Max value of the contract 104 with all the incentives.
And now, when he is jumping that route aggressively, and that receiver gets behind him for the tug, he's doing it as one of the highest paid corners.
Hell yeah! So Uncle Jerry, he's gonna
how about them Cowboys?
He's gonna take care of his guys. You finally get rid of a contract like Zeke's, and then guess what? You got some room for a contract like this for one of their star defense.
You're America's corner. When I think of cornerbacks for America's team, I think about the urban corners in inner cities, and I think of you, Trevon Diggs.
So funny. Derek says, "Stop hating, Bogey."
Is it hating or doing bogey? See, you know what? Derek doesn't take it personal. I love Derek. You know, when I meet Derek, it's gonna be one of these guys. Come here.
Man, if you guys don't already have your trip booked in August, now is the time. Life is short. Come hang out with the 420 crew. August 18th, 19th, and 20th. The shit is going to be extra lit. I cannot wait to see all you guys in person, man. It is going to be fucking epic. All right, now, how about, I guess we didn't mention that Josh Jacobs officially left Las Vegas. He's planning on working out on his own and everything. I still don't see him holding out.
No, he's working with did you see that he's working with Marcus Allen?
No, missed that. That's good. That's good.
No, I made that up.
Come on.
I would totally feel better if he was, though, right?
Come on.
I know, right?
So how about Jameson Williams? He is suspended for the first 6 games, and now he's about to miss training camp.
Oh, now he's a wee puppy? He's a puppy?
Damn leg injury.
He's on the puppy?
Well, he's not. Well, see, I don't even know if he could go on the puppy.
He's not quite on the puppy.
Yeah, but he's hurt. Now he's not going to be at training.
You know what else is hurt? My perspective on him. I'm in several of these best balls, and I'll be in the 10th, 11th round. I'm like, oh, he's there. I'm like, and it is best ball. But it's what if I'm in the same situation for a traditional redraft, right? Is it like Fugazi? Because it's it kind of sucks that he's gonna miss training camp. This is the story of him. He hasn't even strung together a full. He's barely gonna string together a full season by the time he's in with this season. If he plays all the games that he plays, because how long is he suspended for? Till week 6.
You got to know your league, because if you play on Yahoo, you can't even put suspended people in your IR.
So we got him for 8 games of the regular season, and I feel like when you're, when you're suspended, you can't even get on the practice field till that week. So I feel like
Maybe
maybe
fucked up by getting hurt. Whatever happened, he got hurt. Now he's got to miss training camp. So whatever rapport he was going to get with the team in training camp, that's out the window now.
let's all understand this and be clear about this. He is golful. I think you need all of it with golful.
This just makes me like Amon-Ra even more. Like it's not like I already didn't like him, but now, like with this, now there's going to be no lack. Now there's going to be a big lack of rapport with Jamison Williams and Goff. They already don't really have rapport because they haven't really played together that much.
I'm gonna go unload this joint real quick.
And let's see. And what up, PB and waivers? How many rounds are the IDP best ball? They are 30 rounds. 30 rounds. All right. Let's see. Now, who else we got over here? Okay, so Matt LaFleur, he's bigging up Jordan Love right now, saying that he has complete command of the offense. He also said you can't really, because they kept asking him, like, you know, is he going to get enough reps? And his response was, you can never give enough reps. So I think that was just like the politically correct answer to give. Moving over to the Saints. Michael Thomas is expected to be a full participant in their opening practice tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I want to see him get through a week of training camp before I commit one way or the other to saying that, okay, maybe he'll play. Like he's just an injury waiting to happen. What else we got here? Oh, man, Crispy. Where you at? Where you at, Crispy? Your Kadarius Toney, oh man, has surgery on his knee. Andy Reid says there's a chance that he will be available for the first game versus the Lions. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah. I only got the essentials on the soundboard right now.
69, dudes.
We'll get the other stuff on there real soon. Now, did you guys hear Aaron Rodgers? He's been doing super awesome in training camp, but did you hear that he threw his first interception in training camp? And guess who got it? Sauce. Sauce picked him off. And as like in return, Rodgers signed the ball. So Sauce picks him off, and then he gets a signed Aaron Rodgers ball in return. There we go. How about we jump over to the Ravens? A couple things about the Ravens. One is Odell Beckham Jr. saying that he's going to be playing this year as if it's his last. I know that kind of means like he's just going to go all out there, you know, just leave it all on the field. You know, I know he's just like saying the right thing. It might be his last. He even said in a quote, I'm thinking this might be my last. So if it's his last, it's probably because he doesn't have as much in the tank as he hoped. So let's hope that he can be, I don't know, better than a wide receiver 4. Emil said Odell's overrated. For sure. He's just not the same guy that he used to be. And Derek said he needs OBJ for the 18 to the 21. And Tino said OBJ wants to play soccer. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Oh, and the other piece of Ravens news from one of their wide receivers is apparently through training camp so far, Zay Flowers has been playing all 3 positions. So trying to get in where he fit in, you know, and that's definitely good. The more positions you play, the more opportunities you're going to have to get on the field. So that's good for him that he's making sure to learn every single, you know, route.
Okay, my bad. I'm just interrupting what you're saying. And it's funny because I don't know what you're talking about. So Zay Flowers apparently it loves all the positions.
No, he's been playing all the
bring me up to speed.
He's been playing all the wide receiver positions.
I need to pause my selective hearing, actually. I was like, yeah, Zay Flowers is a freak.
I don't know why you wouldn't be doing something like that, especially in an offense like the Ravens, where there might be sometimes where they just have one guy out there on the field as the wide receiver. You better learn all those positions.
I mean, see, but I think that's the days of old because that's the Greg Roman system, right? They're gonna go to the Todd Munnins.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, just by their franchise identity. They've always leaned on the running game a little bit. And
yeah, I mean, and one thing I don't want to change is the fact that they are top 5 in the last 5 years in total plays ran on offense. They're what, 4?
Yeah, 3.
You know what I mean? Fucking awesome. So if that goes to the passing more so, if we see a little more even kill attack here, I mean,
they're one of
even if you go back to the Georgia kid, he had a good amount of rushing yards, so it's not like there's not a mobile QB playbook there. You know what I mean? Because that Todd Munnins recently came from Georgia.
Let's see. We got CJ Gardner-Johnson. We talked about it earlier on the show. He shouldn't miss really any time.
I mean, maybe 8-9 days.
No. They say he's only expected to be out 1 or 2.
I know it's like 4 days. I just wanted to be a dickhead. I give him 9 days.
So Devin White, he requested a trade this offseason. He wants that contract. Buck said they ain't giving it to him yet, but he still showed up at camp. So he's there to get that to look good so he can get the next contract.
Because they also
franchise tag him.
They picked up his 5th year. Right?
No,
they didn't. Yeah, they did, right? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. So he's playing under the 5th year. Yeah, right. Do I have this right?
I'm gonna double check that.
Yeah, because I know they.
Yeah. They
he's
did.
playing under the 5th year, so
he's not.
Yeah, so that's why he's not holding out because he's under the contract. So he'd have to pay. You know, he's like, I'm showing up.
He just wants that long-term deal. I mean, what would suck is if he gets franchise tagged because there's not really that many high-paid.
Yeah, and they kind of pigeonhole. The linebackers are like the running backs of the defense in that in the perspective of how they pay them.
Pretty much.
They're just undervalued. They wrote. I mean, look at TJ Edwards. You know what I mean? They're like, you're out, man. N'Kobe Dean, you're up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least he did get
Patrick Queen. You're halfway out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Godspeed to you.
It's ridiculous. So for you crazy Niner fans out there and you Jimmy G truthers, he's got no limitations or restrictions coming into camp.
Oh, you mean Brock? You said Jimmy. A little confused. Fucking flies.
Well, yeah, I did say Jimmy. I said the Raiders.
Oh, you said Niners.
No, I said the Raiders.
Okay. Put it in the chat.
I said you crazy Raider fans. And
you said you crazy Niner fans out there.
I swear I said you crazy Raider fans and you Jimmy truthers.
Yeah, you said Niner fans and Jimmy. You know what? I digress.
Hey, someone put it in the chat. Did I say Raiders or Niners? I swear I said Raiders.
You did. I write down everything we say.
Okay, Derek said I said Niner fans. Okay, well there you go.
But you know what though? There's a correlation here. Fucking we have Niners in the news. Jimmy was a Niner. You say, you know what I mean?
But no restrictions.
Because you know what? If you were speaking on Niner fans, you would have said, okay, for all you civilized, snooty, fucking charcuterie board Niner fans. What are that shit? The board with all the meats and cheeses.
Yeah. Oh man. So here, and man, I can't believe I totally spaced on this when we were talking about the Ravens, because this was actually the biggest piece of news. So they say that they take Rashad Bateman off the pup. And then he has
he's no longer a pup, he's a big dog now.
Then he has a setback right away.
Oh.
And he's back on the pup. Not good at.
Don't fall for the bait, man.
Yeah, this
you know what, bro? I don't even think I'm taking him in best balls no more.
I
feel bad for dude. What was dude's name? Disco, man. Shout out to Disco Inferno. No, let's don't take anything personal, Disco. I feel bad because like when I looked at his team that he drafted, it was chock full of players I hate too. So it's like, damn, F. You know what I mean? Like Bateman is like. It's the only place I'd ever look at him is in a best ball. And now just never, don't be fooled. Don't fall for the bait, man.
Give me Zay Flowers. Give me OBJ. I mean, I'd rather have those guys in best ball. I don't think I'll be targeting.
Give me the bitch over the bait.
I'm not targeting any of them in redraft, though. I'd rather just have Lamar. You know, if you play in a 1 QB league, just get Lamar. You don't even have to pay.
What do they say? Hey, man, just have the cake. Fuck the icing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know if that's a thing. Is that a thing? Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, these cool little candles on the top. You know what? I have the whole cake.
Let me see. Lee said Bateman needs a leash or a dog collar. Becomes a little bit too savage, Lee. Man,
Bark like a dog.
see,
A big dog.
like Rashad Bateman is one of those guys where I mean, not really. It's hard that we don't have a lot of these guys besides Lance that we can compare to as like someone who, you just want to say like, oh, he hasn't been on the field much. We don't know what to expect. There's just a certain point where you're just like, I don't give a fuck how good he is. I don't want to touch him. And that's like where I'm at with Bateman as of right now.
Oh, I just thought of a show idea for one of the morning shows.
Let's hear it.
Okay, listen, this is the work in progress, the title for it, right? The list of players I diabolically laugh when I see my league mates draft.
Well, yeah, we want to.
You got to work that title down.
We already talked about having, that show. Like, let your league mates draft these players.
There you go. See, look at that.
Don't be a fool. Let your league.
I like mine better. I ain't gonna lie. Diabolically, the list of players you diabolically laugh at when your league makes draft them. You know yours is better.
Now here. Okay, we're talking about diabolical. Perfect segue. Perfect segue into the Patriots and Mr. Bill Belichick.
Diabolical.
So remember how they're talking all this shit about Tyquan Thornton and how he's got this undisclosed soft tissue injury, all this kind of stuff. And then, according to Bill Belichick, he said he is expected to be ready for the start of training camp.
New Will Fuller? Not even new Will Awfuller. This is that role in that system. Bill O'Brien's system has a field stretcher that they don't just have him at the X. They'll move him. I mean, at the Z. They'll move him around. You know what I'm saying? This is interesting.
And
he'll be free. Taekwondo Thornton. What's up?
I stopped drafting him in best ball for a while because I was getting him like 27th, 28th round, and then we get the bullshit about the soft tissue. I stopped drafting him, but now I'll be back on drafting.
Now he's back in the queue. Taekwondo. What's up?
And the guy who we think is going to be taking all the work over there, Juju Smith-Schuster, is also expected to be ready to begin training camp.
Oh, he's
here, Bill Belichick.
Little puppy. No, he's not on the pup, huh? He's dealing with something though.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the best slot receiver Belichick has ever had. He's like, there's a long list of guys I'm gonna compare you to. He's like, Jacoby Myers is one hell of a guy. My baloney has a first name.
So Kendre Miller, he was someone who we were a little nervous about because he was going to be starting training.
Activate him.
He is activated now after he passed the physical.
He's off the pup now. He's a big dog.
It's crazy because we do this news day to day, so we get a lot of conflicting information, but it's not really conflicting. It's just like, how things progress. Because Chase Claypool, they said that he's ready to get in full practice mode tomorrow.
No ding for Chase Claypool.
He doesn't deserve it. Shaq Leonard, also someone who is being faded amongst the IDP community, passed the physical and will be there at the start of training camp.
He's a value.
It doesn't mean that he's going to be in full contact right away. So they did give a little bit of context, but they said that
they got to get him out there because he has a contract. So don't just be paying him for no reason like last year because they dealt with him being injured, and they will move him.
Yeah, if they need to. Now,
who will take him?
Who?
I don't know. I was asking you actually.
Seahawks, they're locking in.
Oh, the Seahawks will take him?
No. Seahawks are locking in Nwosu. 3-year contract extension.
I like it.
59 mil, 32 mil guarantee.
When he signed his contract, he said, "Look here, brother. I'm signing this for the NWO. Because when you're a Seahawk, you're a Seacock for life." I mean, he has NWO in his name.
Yeah, Nwosu's hella solid as well.
No, but I'm saying though.
I know. His name is NWO.
Yes, NWO in his name, brother.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Let's see.
Okay. Nothing and everything all at the same time.
All right. I'm not saying that this is going to affect any tight end for the Buffalo Bills, but why would the Buffalo Bills go out and sign Jace Sternberger after a successful workout when we already know they got Kincaid, they got Knox. I know
Where'd the burger come from?
I have no idea.
New England? Was he a New England guy? Or was he was the burger coming from Green Bay? I'm just trying to remember because maybe there's a coaching correlation here or something. But like,
I know he was.
They need more blocking tight ends. I can assume he's a blocking tight end.
I know he was on Green Bay at one point.
There you go. Give me the burger. That means nothing. They're gonna run 12. What this signing means is them reinforcing what they said weeks ago. They said they want to run 12 personnel, like a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that also says too they're not confident in a third wide receiver for their 3 wide receiver set. And what's crazy is like you go back to 2020 and 21, they were at the top of the league of 3 and 4 and 5 wide receiver sets. Granted, they were putting people out wide, and those tight ends or running backs or whatever, or in the slot, or you know what I mean. But still, nonetheless, going empty with fucking a 4 wide receiver.
Yeah,
she ate the Western bacon cheeseburger. Hey, my youngest daughter, she's a beast. She eats everything. Western bacon cheeseburger, dial it up.
Let's see. What else do we got?
Wait a second, that's my burger. Eating my burger and shit.
Saints go out there and they sign Jimmy Graham to a 1-year deal. Probably going to be a whole lot of nothing, but it is nice.
Are they retiring him
out there? No, this is a 1-day contract. This is a 1 year.
That's right. Jimmy Grandpa played for the Bears last year. That's right. He's in there.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome home. He's a pilot. And he flies his plane around, and he even has one of those planes that like lands on the water. Like he's fucking like he's launch pad from Tailspin. Yeah,
this makes sense. What up, Big Draft Energy said, I believe Knox got a tweak in his leg during the Bills mandatory. I don't remember hearing that, but that makes a lot of sense. Right? A lot of sense.
Yeah, due diligence, right? I mean,
yeah,
they are
looking good.
They are Sean McDermott and them. They keep things hush. Remember Josh Allen? He dealt with an elbow, and everyone they kind of downplayed it all the way, right? Like
for a lot of weeks.
But so you got to look at you got to look at what they're doing versus what they're saying. So for all you crazy asshole Dawson Knox truthers out there, and then even worse for all you crazy Dalton Kincaid truthers, you're like, yeah, bro, to the moon. Is that what they say, right?
Yeah.
Kincaid to the moon.
Oh, that makes sense. Big Draft Energy said it was overshadowed by all the Diggs drama. There was a lot of Diggs drama.
Ooh, that's right. And that was a mandatory thing. I mean, when Diggs comes through wearing half the gear, right? Or was he really wearing that, or was it just a picture?
I can't remember what you're talking about.
He came through and half of his body was dressed in gear to practice. So yeah, like a cleat on one leg and like the pants with the fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some pads or whatever the fucking, and on this side, it was all business. You know what I mean? But
funny.
It was like a metaphor from half in, half out. You know what I mean?
And Derek said Kincaid's still gonna kill it. I hope so for my Kincaid.
To the moon, you mean?
History is just not on his
side. Retype that comment. He means put it in parentheses. To the moon.
To the moon. And and Derek said the Brock is off the PUP and he's ready to practice. And Brock says
no setbacks, please, for reality and for our fantasy. Listen, I'm gonna take a stance, bro. Like, and not even a stance. I've been saying this since the injury. Like, for fantasy's sake, we want it to be the Brock. If Lance is in there, then for some reason, if Lance is in there as a starter, you probably want Lance, and it's I can't bank on anybody else. You know what I'm saying? If it's the Brock, he's gonna facilitate things.
Lance has higher upside for the who play in like the 4, point passing TD leagues. And
but it doesn't even have to be Lance. Just insert mobile QB name.
The rushing upside.
Insert QB name.
The high rushing upside, which Brock will be the exact opposite. But Brock will be a billion times better for Kittle.
I mean, Brock will get some rollouts and some bootlegs, and he might extend a play or two. You know what I mean? He had an elbow, not with his legs. You know what I mean? Because he did do that last year. But I'm saying, like, to facilitate the offense that produces, a Debo and an Ayuk and a Kittle and all these guys that are going to come out of value for us this year. Remember last year when it was Lance, what was I saying? I'm just completely off all the weapons except for Lance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just taking that stance, and then Lance dies, and fuck you, Lance.
People don't know what Lance is as a passer. Like everyone's like super excited.
I know what he is when you see that big old windup.
Yeah.
There's no yak. There goes Debo. You need Debo down the field now. And now he's got a battle with Ayuk down the field. The yak, the drawn up, yards after the catch plays that Shanahan's offense is famous for, bro. Like Brock's going to facilitate that. You could say his stretch last year was against some weak ass defenses. I would say he did what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is for fantasy speakings.
I love talking trash about like, the teams that Brock played and how he had CMC and Lance didn't and all that. But
let's go because he has all that. I like him.
Well, if you're rushing QB, you're probably not notoriously going to be throwing to the RB like anyways. Like you just take off and run instead of doing those checkdowns.
It's in your nature to run.
It's funny.
It is the way
if Lance starts, I become a 49er fan. And then Derek says Lance is trash.
Thank you. Because even I'm on record. See, this was dope. We do this shit like damn near daily for the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we take a look. Maybe this offseason, like really, like we really killed it compared to like we used to like kind of get lightweight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying on my record for saying I wanted Lance. I wanted us to move up and get Lance. And then but then it was also like I was spoiled. Like, hey man, Lance, Fields, or Mac Jones. I can make a case for each one of them. But I wanted Lance because it's also like being a quote unquote analyst. You want to be right about your call. You know what I'm saying? But also when you're wrong about it and now we have enough hindsight to know I've been off that. You know what I'm saying? Because for reality and even for fantasy, the Brock is what we want. You know what I'm saying? It might even be boring, but he's gonna be a facilitator. Jimmy in that same offense had Debo as a number 2 guy. The combination of Jimmy and Brock made Brandon Ayuk a 1,000-yard receiver. We want all this.
And here's what I'm doing. I'm just fading all the 49ers.
I'm mad at you. I don't really have any of them motherfuckers either, bro. CMC or bust.
Debo's that's the only one who I really, really, really want.
I got a ton of Debo, and you know what I mean, but because he just goes farther, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and see for me, the Debo, like I love Debo the year when Ayuk was the crazy, one going.
Yeah, the reach
amount of value. Now we got to reach on Debo. I kind of just skip
reach
over.
Around.
Yeah, and I don't want no reach around on Debo, man. Like, no.
Hey, you might snatch your hand clean off out, snatch your arm right out the socket.
Yeah, and then Ayuk probably going a little bit too, like, it's almost like you got to get these guys at their ceiling, and I don't want to bank. I'm really just trying to get value anywhere, so I don't want to get guys at their ceiling.
I'm wired to PPR goodness anyway. I don't really have too many yak guys. You have to depend on that yak, bro. So then you got to look at matchups and when I'm drafting guys like Debo and all them, they're still in range of like not must starts, but they're still in starter range when you're drafting them. I'm not like, drafting guys. I tend to have to make a decision on.
You love Scary Terry. You want Scary Terry or Debo? Who would you pick?
I'll take Debo, knowing it's the Brock. But then that means it's going all bad. You know what I mean? But that's if you ask me, because then I might even circle around and take McLaurin after.
Is it
close?
What I mean?
Like,
is it close?
Yeah, because I think McLaurin. See, I get all high pitched. That means I didn't really believe that. Yeah. I mean, McLaurin's 1,000 yards receiving in the making, but on a per game basis, it's probably shitty. On a team that's going to run more 12 personnel than not, because it's going to be a lot of dink and dunking and running the ball and playing defense with Sam the Wolf Owl.
Well, how about some other guys around this range? How about Debo versus DK?
DK.
Debo versus Drake London.
Drake London.
Okay. I think Debo's going like just right underneath those.
They're all cutting hair away from each other. Yeah, and then it's like then it depends. Like, see, because 9 times out of 10, it's like if I have Debo, he's my 3rd or 4th. that means I was emphasizing on receiver somehow, right? And in the leagues in the startups this year that we did, I have a lot of Debo because I traded back a lot. So like having an extra pick, I'll be like, I'll take Debo here. Like I have 2 5th-round picks. You know what I mean? Like, so I ended up with a lot of Debo because it's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take Debo there because I would love to have Debo as a matchup guy, or at least like wait it out to see, because people are still. You can't view Debo as he had one good year. It's almost like someone fucked me up earlier when they were like, well, Cup only really had that, the 2017 or the 2018 and 2021 year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then I have to argue, well, he had 2 of them. Debo only had the one good year. So you
said Debo or Christian Watson. I already know the answer there.
Yeah, I'm taking Debo.
Yeah. Christian Watson.
I'm okay being wrong about Christian Watson. I'm okay.
I don't like his
another show. A list of guys I'm okay being wrong about.
I don't like it at all. His ADP.
I don't like it at all too. I don't like the way he walks on, the way he talks.
What's up with all the Jordan Mason hype? Bakes that out Jordan Mason. He's a big back that could be a goal line back. Oh, just if anyone gets hurt in front of him. Okay, that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean it's fantasy math.
Yeah.
Remove one guy, the other guy. It's like the Jet Li rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
But Jordan Mason, they love him. Like he's such a Shanahan back. He's like he's what is he, 230-ish?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, he might be slimmer now because they tend to make you get down to like a 215 range. You know what I mean? 210 range.
Just said Debo or Ridley.
Oh no.
So for me, I mean, because Debo's going higher, I mean, I would just pass on the Debo and I would just try to get Ridley in like the next round.
They had to come through and tell me she ate my whole burger. She's all proud with barbecue sauce on her face. It's pretty good, I'm sure. I know it. I order it.
And Marty said, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're all kind of on the same page as far as
Watson or like, okay, see, you know what Watson is to me? You got to go back, man, to the standard days, man. You know what I'm saying, man? He's such a standard player. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
In a PPR, I'm always going to be like, I'll take DJ Moore there. I'll take Jared Judy there. I don't want to depend on the splash play down the field. Whether or not they manufacture the ball into his hand on a screen or something like that. And I don't really think you can convince me that Jordan Love has this back shoulder fade.
And you know what? Like, I don't care what anybody says. That ball that he dropped from Rodgers, like on the very first drive, very first game.
That was it. He don't have it.
He's still getting haunted to this day because of that. I bet you he thinks about that all the time. That was huge.
You remember Big Ben?
That was a fork in the road where he was about to go potential rookie of the year. He drops it and goes to, what did he have? 7 touchdowns on the year, and he was all solid. He was okay.
I have a claim. Since 2014, Ben Roethlisberger, first drive of the game, if not the first play of the game, it's happening in the first drive. He's taking a big shot down the field. So, and a lot of times it'll be like play action, boom, Martavis Bryant beat down the field.
Give me the why, PB and waivers. Give me the why you think Watson is gonna.
Yeah, I want to know the why. I'm all about it. Give me some logic here. I mean, because here's my argument against Christian Watson is that 5-week stretch with 8 touchdowns is so fucking polarizing that no one's gonna conventional wisdom gets trumped here when people start looking at Christian Watson, because you should really realize it's Jordan Love, who we don't know shit about, and now it's year 2 of it's a sophomore slump, right? That's a curse, but it's also a sophomore guy who has the intention of the entirety of defenses and D coordinators and their game planning for this son bitch. Give me Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying that Jordan Love isn't going to attach onto
but he's not going to be like double coverage. I'm Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to, like, Watson.
I'm not Aaron Rodgers, man.
I think if Watson is coming out with a 33% target market share, maybe I'll bite my tongue a little bit, but it's legit going to need to be something like that because they don't play in a high volume passing offense.
Maybe is their defense going to give up like 24 points a game? Give me Watson and all of them. Give me Jordan Love. Give me all of it.
Yeah, like that would be the reason
They're going
why.
to try to prevent that with the run game. They're a
If their
run
team
first
is so
team.
bad,
They're inside zone run team.
if their team is so bad, that they have to like throw because everybody's stacking the box and the run game is not working. If it's a lot of that, of course he's gonna have to throw it.
Did you see what they said in the on the docket today?
What?
Right? It says something. I'm
That he
paraphrasing.
commanded the offense.
Yeah.
That was when
Matt
you were
LaFleur's offense.
Yeah, that was when you were
Okay, yeah. Matt LaFleur's though. You know what I mean?
And Big said Jordan Love to be faded. Hopefully everyone thinks the same. I mean, he's already being faded for sure. He's not being drafted.
I like Jordan Love as like a
QB 3 or 4.
QB3.
Yeah, it's because he's being drafted in like after the 20s.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, people that wait, they're happy to get Jordan Love as their 2. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean?
Maybe in a single QB, but not. I don't know if people are going to be excited.
Single QB is not. People won't even. He's a streaming guy. Yeah, or he's going to be. I mean, is he this year's Geno Smith? I don't know. I don't think so. Like someone and when I say that, the guy that comes out of nowhere and is fantasy viable than a mug.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers wasn't amazing with this offense last year.
Hey, for all we know, it could be Gardner Minshew. It could be, you know what I mean? I mean, every year, in the past happy league, the past couple of years, you know what I'm saying? You have like 40 QBs. You have like 40 QBs that have the QB1 finish at one point or another.
I'm planting my flag on Kenny Pickett. He's going like
I like that. I like that flag.
Like that.
Flag. Because you know why I like that flag? Because I don't see too many other. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else planting that flag. I like that flag. It's original. It's an OG flag to you.
It'll be a big jump, and they have the offense that could do it as well.
This is why I like that we do things daily, because like it was like early in the offseason. I'm like, okay, listen, y'all. It's for no apparent reason. It's the force telling me Desmond Ritter's gonna be that drum I beat. You remember that?
Yeah.
Because it's like no one's ever gonna get too excited for this guy. So he's always gonna be a value, and he has a path to being like this sneaky fantasy relevant guy because of the weaponry and that play action they're about to fuck the game up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, and Big Drive Energy says, I love the Love Watson connection. He says, yet to be seen. He said, but Watson is nasty, yards per route.
Is that a receiver?
Explosive plays, the spike week freak. Yeah. Jordan Love, though, I mean, that's where this comes down to, because like it's easy to get separation when Rodgers throws you open. Not too many QBs are like amazing at that, like Rodgers. It's going to be a volume.
I'll give props to Watson that this was what's Buddy's name? Hammer. He's a big Packers guy. I asked him this. I said, "Is this not the fastest that we've seen Rodgers develop a receiver, like a crash course?" So it was like he knew he was going to be out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no more Rodgers though. So
there's like nobody else.
And like I'm okay being wrong, but and then honestly, if there was Rodgers there, he's not going where he's going. You know what I mean? So for those that do like Watson, at least you're getting him at a value. I still think there's just a ton of other guys are taking over him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gun to my head.
Let's see. And Marty, what up? What up? And Bakes, he says he's planting his flag on Jordan Love. There we go. I like it.
So right, Bakes, tell me how it goes.
So as what? So I mean, Kenny Pickett, he's a guy I'm planting my flag on that I feel like could flirt with top 12 QBs, and he's gonna massively outproduce his ADP.
He's this year's Jared Goffel.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean, because the guy who jumps in.
I don't think he's gonna finish as QB6. Like I'm not saying that, but the late QB that
I mean, just the guy that routinely, is like a high end QB2. Mid-range QB2 that jumps up. I mean, because if you pace out Pickett last year, and I wasn't even aware of the numbers till you broke it down. He paces out to QB 13, 12 last year.
Yeah. Would have been close to 4.
Depending
I mean,
on the
if
format.
it's all pacing the same way,
exactly.
Yards, then it's a lot.
The average
to get behind.
And you gotta pace his. I mean, he only played how many games last year? 9.
I think it was 9. Yeah. And Bake said Jordan Love top 15. Okay, I mean that's possible. I won't say that's not possible, but he's got to work to get up there for sure. That is for damn sure. And shout out to Canada Marty in the house. What up? What up?
What up? Shout out to Canada Marty.
And
hold on. Damn, I'm trying to remember what he told us.
What?
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure she'll go.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure she'll go.
Um,
did I give you a ding?
I think I need to hear from Big Drive Energy if that was
He
it.
was like,
I remember it was something like that.
I like the show. This is going down.
Okay, he
Man.
said, "Oh fuck yeah, she'll go."
Oh fuck yeah, she'll go. There you go. It's about to go down, man.
And then he said Jaden Reed makes sense. Debo reincarnate. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so you mean you tell me like unreliable on a
There's
week
too many.
You know what I mean? Like you're telling me Debo, I'm a Niner. I'm like, come on, like
Because see, like Romeo Dubs isn't going to disappear, and everybody is saying that Romeo Dubs has the best connection with Jordan Love right now. Like that's all that we've been
and
hearing.
Romeo Dobbs. It's funny because those are the two guys, Ritter and Romeo Dobbs, that I took these early stances on because I'm just doing fantasy math. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't even need them to be particularly good. I just need them to get the volume and do. I need what I'm projecting to happen. He's going to be a volume. He's going to be a PPR goodness. Our man Romeo Dobbs. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna need the big touchdown from Watson on a week-to-week basis, which I don't see happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one thing that he does have going for him is actually, I was gonna say he plays in a division with like not the best like cornerbacks, but when they go against the Vikings, he's got to go against Byron Murphy. That one's gonna be tough.
Erased. That's twice. I guess maybe against the Lions, he'll fare well. Chicago, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, you know, those guys are decent.
Yeah.
You know, I think it would be more of a Jalen Johnson. I could see him jamming him up at the line, like because they're both big guys. You know what I mean? I mean,
said Reed will be a sleeper for the Packers. Yeah, I would rather have Dobbs. I mean, I'm not. We're talking redraft right now, like dynasty. Yeah,
yeah.
Get him, but yeah, for redraft, like I just don't. I don't see it.
I'm just wired that way, right? I mean, I'm sure you are too, right? He's a value, and he seems like a guy who's gonna have a safer floor. I'm just gonna gravitate toward that guy.
I don't see them going that far down the pecking order right away, early enough to where like someone won't just drop him and I can pick him up later. Because like unless he comes out with multiple touchdowns, you know, like in the first.
If I have Reed,
he'll get dropped.
If I have Reed and he has a big play, a big old nasty house call, week 1, flipping him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And Marty said, to be fair, Dobbs got a lot of the hype in training camp last year too. Yeah,
and he balled.
Yeah,
what? He balled until Christian Watson was healthy. I mean, right, and I'm talking about preseason, right? Then here comes week 1. Who fails him? Aaron Rodgers. Who fails him week 1? First play of the game. First player on their offense. Christian Watson. You know what I'm saying? And Romeo Dobbs was hurt at this point, I think, if I remember correctly. You know what I'm saying? And we saw little stretches of Dobbs, then the big stretch with Christian Watson. That's why I remember I hate that I can't remember exactly what I remember. I looked this up, like the games they played together, like, you know what I mean? And then, you know, and Rodgers being you know, like a 25 pass attempt average guy, like at that point, like it was like, you know, wasn't the greatest when they both played. So I could even make an argument that like what we saw last year was just like a only game in town situation for those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, both of them have. I mean, Dubs plays less games. They both get. I mean, Dubs has 67 targets. Watson has 66.
Couldn't even get
40. I mean, 42 receptions to 41. Christian Watson's the big play guy though, so he has almost 200 more yards, you know, than he does. And then of course he had the more TDs. Both very similar, you know, with the first downs and the catch percentage and all that.
I think we're all happy. If you are a Christian Watson guy, just you be happy that like there's no Rodgers, so it bakes it into his ADP.
Yeah,
because this is a guy we naturally would chase and pull up high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was
I mean, look at how high Garrett Wilson's going now that Rodgers is over.
Rodgers. And Rodgers yesterday, right? You know, he told me on the phone. He said, "Bruh, just like Devontae Adams." I said, "For real? Nah, you know, reminds me of him. It's good enough. To the moon."
Yeah, I know. Big drive energy. Yeah, that LaFleur is a disciple of all the Shannon.
Yeah, for sure. So there, and what do I always say about Shanahan? First of all, he's Sagittarius like myself, so we're very thin line between genius and arrogance. And I think that's the worst thing for me being a Niner fan is that I have that type of coach where he's like, at least it's a great fallback because we tried to get the high upside QB, but it's like, you know what I mean? The arrogance is that, hey, I can win with whoever's back there. Whoever's on the center, I can run it. Let's go. Whoever's the running back, we get it. You know what I'm saying? This is actually like surprising. Come on, how dumbfounded was I? We actually got CMC. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember saying this on the show last year before even the rumors. When the first rumor came out and was like, oh, CMC is gonna get traded, and the first rumor was Buffalo. And I said, we don't want that. I said, what we want is him to go to what I said like this. What we want is for what that will never happen. He go to the Niners. He fucking went to the Niners. I throw now. What is Christian McCaffrey this year in redraft? What is he?
The 101,
basically, or 102, right?
Number one running back.
People, they see him. He's on the Niners. They throw all the history out the window of an injury. They don't give a fuck, and I don't blame them because he's on the Niners. Let's fucking go. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, and Marty said Amari or Christian Watson in redraft. So if I
probably take the Scooper because he'll go later.
I'm gonna wait and I just don't want
the Pooper Scooper.
Yeah, if I could even get them, let's say I'm on and I'm on in the 8th round or something, and both are available somehow. I don't. Actually, that might even be a little bit too early for me to take Amari, but we'll just use that, as a frame of reference. I would just take Amari. I would rather have that because Watson's still going to lock onto one guy as well. So what? Who's the top 3 in best ball? Justin Jefferson, Kelsey, and Chase. Those will be the top 3 then. Then Christian McCaffrey's going 4 or 5. That's what I'm assuming. Yep, Crispy said Cooper, the Pooper Scooper. All right, guys, don't forget we got some cards this week. Who's gonna jump into the box breaks with the cards? We only got a handful of teams.
Who's coming with me?
And who is going to get more raffle tickets for these jerseys, man? You guys are starting to make me think that I did the wrong thing by bringing these jerseys.
Hold on. What are these jerseys you speak of?
We got a signed Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, these aren't regular jerseys. This is Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame jerseys. Signed Lawrence Taylor jersey.
What?
Signed Justin Jefferson jersey.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer already for sure.
Signed Joe Montana Notre Dame colorway jersey.
And tell him what it has on it.
Hey, you guys remember that Campbell's chicken noodle soup game, right? On that game.
The chicken noodle soup stain right on it.
Come on, guys. Don't make me think that I did the wrong thing by bringing out all these heavy hitting jerseys, man.
The chicken noodle soup game. Give that shit to me, man. I need that shit in my life. I need to put that next to my other signed Joe. You feel me?
Yeah, see this makes sense. Big draft energy. That Jefferson, Chase, Tyreek, crazy that Cup has gone above CMC, and that Kelsey's gone behind CMC, especially in best ball.
Yeah, if I'm in the best ball, I'm like I have nothing to lose. I want all the gain.
Big draft energy. These are not the jerseys you wear. I just said they were signed by Hall of Famers. You do not wear these jerseys. So I don't know if they're a XXX or not. They are still in the bags.
Even my signed Ricky Williams, when he came to the crib, I made him sign it again. And you know what he said? Oh, yeah, that's legit. It's me. He looked at the autograph. He's like, oh, that's me right there.
And
you know what I mean?
I'd wear. You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
I'm just saying, though, I'm a forever skeptic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's me. Because you know what I'm saying? It made me feel good about Pristine Auction as a whole, as in its entirety. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they ain't playing.
Yeah.
If anyone ever doubted it.
See, look at that. Peacock said it right there. Imagine getting some hot wing hot sauce on one of those.
I'll be hot. A shout out to my birthday twin Antonio. He got the signed Garrett Wilson joint last year. He's a big Jets fan for context.
Yeah.
He got one of them fucking them big old thick glass joints, the frames.
Yeah,
And he said, I guess he didn't have the right mount. That shit fell one day, but the glass busted. I said, the first thing I said, did it ruin the jersey? He said, just a little nick, but you can't see it. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, all right.
And at least he wasn't like laying in bed when he fucking like mounted that.
He has it right over his head.
That would have been bad
when he sleeps. You know
what?
I sleep in my signed Joe Montana. Nothing but it. Just me, signed Joe Montana jersey, naked as a jaybird.
Marty said a dude wore to sign Greg Coleman to the last Vikings game I went to. I was so confused.
I mean, yeah, who is Greg Coleman?
Yeah.
He's a legend, obviously. He was just some guy that signed it.
Could have just wore a signed Gary Coleman jersey.
It was actually a Gary Coleman jersey, but I knew this guy, Greg Coleman. I was like, close enough.
Legend. Yeah, it's funny. Who was member in Half Baked? We got Jerry Garcia in a pouch, man.
I have an idea.
Who told you that? Jerry or Andy Garcia? No, it was Barry Garcia. It was his brother.
His brother, Barry. And he said, and you paid how much? Hey, look at this. I have this idea.
No, Marty, I don't know who Greg Coleman is. No.
I got a bullshit idea. So like we close the show, run the outro, and then fucking have an after hours just bullshit shit. You know what I mean? Like after, not hours, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the reason why we're doing it this way is because all the uploads and all.
Well, that's what I mean. Because then it's like you have a marker to chop the end off. You know what I mean?
Well, I know, but it's the actual time of like we're still on here kicking it. I need to be like editing videos and shit. Like as soon as
good point.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason we're doing this. You did say that.
Yeah. So yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, that's why you've been seeing the shorter videos. I just got more editing work to do behind the scenes, and like so, one of the ways that you guys
and we do have a guy on the way. We got a couple guys fighting to the death for this job.
But you guys can get into Discord, where we are going to be doing a bunch of chatting always, and 420crew.org. Once you guys sign up there, you'll get an email and it gives you the link to go get into Discord. But we're going to be doing a lot more bullshitting in Discord. So make sure you download the app and make sure you join the chat.
I got banned from Discord. No, just playing.
Oh, see, this is why Marty says the Vikings' best punter ever and inventor of the Coleman grill. I don't know, man.
I mean, bro. I don't know, man. The Foreman grill.
Yeah, I
feel like people that couldn't read, they got the Coleman grill because they're like, oh, I heard of that.
I'm rocking the Foreman grill. You know why? Because I could use that inside, just right on top of a table or something. The Coleman grill, I'm assuming that's one of those outside, barbecue joints.
I actually got a pocket handheld George Foreman joint, bro. It's a mini.
Marty said, damn, y'all hating. I don't like punters, man. I just don't.
Punters' lives matter. I mean, we respect punters. Shout out to Pat McAfee, one of the greatest, dude, transcended the position. Top, what is it? All 100 or whatever.
And Marty said that's the Vikings Hall of Fame. Well, I mean, see, I don't cheer for the Vikings.
That's hard then, bro.
Ring of Honor, but
okay, so you telling us that we need a Greg Coleman signed jersey.
It's funny, yeah.
We have a Justin Jefferson one.
Bake said that Crispy used that Gary Coleman jersey as a kilt.
I mean, it's a kilt, not a skirt. How about okay? I do want to say one more thing about Christian Watson is that, man, he does have it in him to be that number one player that I'm okay being wrong about. Like because like imagine this, if like that defense is like a 21 point giving up motherfucking team, right? And they're still trying to play their slow methodical.
If they have the injuries, that's what's going to happen. If Jair Alexander comes out and he's on point, Devondre Campbell comes out.
But like, what if they're like the garbage time team? Like, it's been a while since like remember Allen Robinson and Allen Hearns. It was like, just wait till the end of the game. You know what I mean? Like, Christian Watson kind of gives me those vibes. You know what I mean? Like Terry McLaurin, Terry McLaurin, his numbers kind of got padded being that last year in some of those games where they were getting tore up. Like, he just get a garbage. Even when that one game that they were killing the Eagles, remember that? He had like this garbage time, like 40-yarder, like just add insult to injury. You know what I mean? But it's like we rarely see that. That was a different case. Like it's a divisional rival, and they're like putting the boots to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, like
anything can happen. Like anything is possible. I'm just fading it because I don't believe in it. And I'm not even saying I don't believe in that. I would just rather believe in.
You know what's crazy too? Do you remember what they were saying about Jordan Love coming out of college?
What?
That he was that fucking side arming, unorthodox, like arm angle guy. He was like Mahomes. That's what they were saying about this kid. It's hella funny.
I remember that. I just remember making fun of the Packers and like, wait, you guys drafted a backup QB and a backup running back when you guys are going for a Super Bowl.
Hey, don't you ever disrespect the Jewish jackhammer, AJ Dillon, the kosher Conan.
Because that's kind of like the isms that I feel like LaFleur got from Shanahan.
Yeah, and also
always playing for the future.
I always viewed AJ Dillon too as like his like Derrick Henry, like but not, because Derrick Henry is like a unique like defensive end looking running back, but like here's AJ Dillon, the 230 plus pound tree trunk hamstring having guy. You know what I'm saying? But like just that was because Matt LaFleur came from Tennessee right before he went to Green Bay.
Oh man. So, Bakes, what is going on with this? Jordan Love is the next Patrick Mahomes. So that means he's gonna throw for 5 yards and 40 touchdowns.
I will not allow it.
Come on.
We will not allow it. Bakes. Man, Bakes is smoking that good, man.
Hey, I'm with it, man. I'm smoking some of this wafers right now. I mean, shit.
I'm about to light up myself.
I had to recheck and make sure I read that right. Come on, man.
I mean, listen, Bakes.
Bakes.
What
one is the next
player? I happen to know Bakes fairly well as far as like you could know someone in the chat. This is kind of out of it. Like I didn't know he has this big Jordan Love stance. This is and he does put his money where his mouth is. I think he traded for him in one of the joints, didn't he?
I think so.
Sounds like it.
Hey.
And not my version's better. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Why the Jordan? Maybe it's a value. I mean, this is a choice. This is a choice to make. I probably won't make the choice. You know
Crispy said, "I've got something to say in all capitals."
Oh, okay.
Crispy's
all right, Dad. The floor is yours, Dad.
My dad. TBA waiver said Vikings defense is a Big 12 defense. Hell yeah, it is. If that, I don't even know if you could say that.
I don't know. Brian Flores, I feel like he could whip them into shape. He did it to the Dolphins year one.
Like, what's crazy?
They were giving up a ton of points, but he still had them as like a 2 takeaways, like a takeaway or 2 a game, and he had that streak. Like this is gonna be a thing, I expect.
Here's what most people are forgetting, and maybe what people don't even necessarily know, like ideology wise, and this will be like the last thing, and we'll get ready to get up out of here. So Byron Murphy, he's one of those guys who he can cover
down an entire side
himself. So that means you have 10 other guys that you get to cover the field and rush.
Lewis Stein.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe he lives up to it. You know what I mean? I mean,
Harrison Smith is still there.
Harrison Smith's still there. So, you know what I mean? He's, just a fucking, he doesn't die. Right? Yeah. Fucking, they did get rid of like Danzler. He was pretty good for him.
He was depth.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so bad though, because wasn't he opposite of Peterson last year? You know what I mean?
When injuries happened, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And like, I mean, I don't argue with his statement saying they're like a big or a Pac-12 defense or whatever. Okay. But like, I do like Brian Flores, and I like him. Like, what the first things he did is like get a great, or not a great, like a non-proven former high draft capital guy, like the Patriots would do in Marcus Davenport, right? Yeah, Brian Osimo, you know what I'm saying?
Who we expect to take a big step up,
right? And then then you have Murphy. So I'm just looking at the key guys on every level, like right?
You know?
I don't think they'll be. I think Kirk Cousins and them is chucking it. You know what I mean?
They got to. And make sure you go follow the podcast if you don't already. Fantasy Football Hustler and Silver Screen Breakdowns. This week on the Silver Screen Breakdowns, we are breaking down Varsity Blues. That's this Friday at 5 West Coast time. No night show today. I'm going to be hanging out with the Cannabis Guardian Angel. But we got the Wake and Bake tomorrow. We're covering quarterbacks. And then we got the news, as always, tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Bogey?
The earth is my turf. Universe, give me money.
Peace out.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. There's no surprise, I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Anywhere in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Get your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.